Hey everyone, Jordan here with 9 to 5 Toys, and today we are checking out the AAXA M7 portable projector. Now this thing can do up to 1200 LED lumens, which I believe is around 500 ANSI lumens, and comes in at under $500, which is pretty incredible. So let's dive in and check out all the details on this portable projector. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Now I mentioned the price and the brightness there, those are kind of the two things that you kind of want to look for with portable projectors, and those are pretty good when compared to other projectors we reviewed like the Anker Nebula Capsule 2, which comes in at $580 and features 200 ANSI lumens, or the X Jimmy Halo, which has 800 ANSI lumens but packs an $800 price tag as well. But the M7 is definitely more of a budget options and lacks a lot of the features that the X Jimmy Halo would have. So just some quick specs here. It's a 1080p projector that can do up to that 1200 LED lumens when it is connected to a power source. When it's unplugged, that brightness goes down to 650 LED lumens, which actually still looks pretty bright. And then battery life for this projector, it can run up to 3 hours when it is on the eco mode, the eco brightness, and it also has built-in speakers. So one of the major differences on this projector compared to something like the X Jimmy Halo is that there's no, smart TV capabilities. There's no Android TV built into this one. So you do need to provide your own other source for watching any sort of media. But it does have USB, it does have HDMI, and it even has a micro SD, or they call it a TF slot on here. So, with those three different things, there are quite a few different options and choices you can have for providing some of your own media. For me, since I tested this mainly around my house, I was using a streaming stick, the Roku streaming stick, and it worked very well, with this projector for that. All right, and let's take a look at the overall design here. Measuring in at 7.5 by 6.5 by 2.25 inches, the M7 comes in a pretty small design that makes the projector easy to pack along for trips or take outside. On the front, we have the lens. In back of the projector, there is a 3-way power switch. On the left side are dedicated focus buttons. It's an electronic focus, a 3.5mm headphone port, another 3.5mm AV in port, a USB-C port, a TF card slot, which is basically a micro SD but with more limited capacity compatibility from my understanding, and a reset button. And then over on the right side of the projector are the power plug, an HDMI port, a USB-A port, and an LED status light. On top of the projector are capacitive touch buttons, so these are useful for adjusting audio, settings, and keystone. The bottom of the projector is pretty bare, which is kind of unfortunate. With these portable projectors, it's kind of nice to have some way to mount them to something or place them on something, or have some kind of adjustable feet where you can adjust the angle, because otherwise it can be a little bit of a hassle getting it set up for your screen wherever that is placed. And here you can see in this example, to display on my screen that was down in my basement, I had it stacked on a tub, and then I was using some baby toys to kind of get it at the right angle. So not the most ideal situation here. With these portable projectors, they are meant to move around, and so it would be nice to have a threaded mount down here or something that makes it a little bit easier to mount. There is an optional ceiling mounting kit that is sold separately that you can get for this, so you can do something like that if you want to, but it's just kind of a bummer that there's nothing built in. But the projector does have vertical keystone adjustment, which makes it easier to dial in that image. If you are shooting from down below or a little bit above, you can dial in that image to make it look flat on your screen or your wall. It's not the same multi-point adjustment like we also found on the X Jimmy Halo, where you could even set that off to a side and still make the image flat. But this one, the M7, you will need to have at least lined up in the middle, and then you can adjust that vertically. One neat feature here is that with that power switch, it's a 3-way power switch. There is off and on, and then there's a charge setting. And when it's in that charge setting, you can charge the device through that USB port on the right side of the projector. So if you're camping and your phone needs a little bit of juice or something, you can steal some of that power from the M7 and then charge your phone with that. While the rest of the projector might be missing some features like Android TV and mounting options, the image from the AAXA M7 is pretty impressively bright for the price. There are 3 different brightness modes, and then when plugged in, all 3 modes are available, including that boost mode, which will take full advantage of the 1200 LED lumens, or roughly 500 ANSI lumens. When running on the internal battery, brightness modes are limited to the 650 LED lumens brightness mode, as well as the dimmer eco mode. And to hit those full battery life numbers, the projector will need to be in that eco mode. But the image is plenty sharp with that 1080p image. I was using it on a 100-inch display down in my basement, and focus can be adjusted from both the physical controls on the projector as well as dedicated buttons on the remote. And at first when I was using it, it was during the day. I had a little bit of ambient light, and the color left, a little bit to be desired. There are different color temperature temperature modes you can go through, and then you can even dial in your own. To me, it looked, overly green, and so I was able to use my own user mode to kind of change some of the lighting settings and get it, closer to what I think it should be. But at night or in a very dark room, like I said, I was pretty impressed with how bright and colorful this image is. Watching Star Wars The Force Awakens was very enjoyable with dark blacks and bright whites. And on that 100-inch screen, I was just very impressed with the quality for the price. If you do bring that size down, you will get, even more bright and more vivid colors. But like I said, 100 inches, that's a pretty big screen, and I was pretty impressed with what it was doing on there. I also tried the M7 for gaming, and there is some input lag. So, you're probably not going to want to play, super competitive games or super competitive FPS games. But for more casual games, I think that the M7 is perfectly capable. I had a lot of fun playing Forza Horizon 5 on the projector, and it can do 60 hertz, so I was playing at 1080-60, and the action and everything seemed plenty smooth in Forza. And as a portable projector, the M7 does have built-in speakers as well. It has dual speakers on the right side, I believe, and 4 watts, so nothing too crazy there, and that kind of comes through in the sound as well. I'd kind of compare them to, kind of like budget laptop speakers. They do get loud, but it's not the greatest audio. And of course, for the price and the size, I would have been blown away if they were really impressive speakers. And don't get me wrong, like they're fine for watching shows and picking up dialogue and everything, but don't expect to be blown away. And one other factor here is the fan noise from the projector, which can also diminish that audio. In boost mode, the fan noise is quite noticeable and quite audible, and you have to turn the projector up, pretty far to kind of make it so that you can't hear the fan, or that you can at least hear the dialogue over that. Standard mode brings the fan down a little bit, so things are a little more audible. There's not a huge difference, but then dropping it down to eco mode does make this a lot more usable and makes the fans much more quiet. So I recorded an example of this, and let's check it out. So I do have the projector sitting right here. We are playing in eco mode right now, so this is the dimmest and also the quietest. And I'll turn it up so we can hear Jeff from 9 to 5 Mac a little bit.
Okay, so this right here, listen up, this one is cool. So
and that's at 50% volume. It's kind of about the same volume as my voice. I'll turn it back down, and now we're going to change modes. We're going to go into the standard mode. So it definitely got brighter, but the fan's starting to pick up quite a bit too. So here we'll check out that same 50% volume level. Which you can still hear the fan noise quite a bit when it's at 50%.
It is possible to disable that.
All right, and lastly, we'll take it up to boost, which actually takes advantage of that, 1200 lumens. So now I've got it on boost, which brought up the fans even a little bit more. So, it's really great that it can get that bright, but audio starts to be a little bit lacking there. And this is at 50% volume. I'll go ahead and turn it all the way up to 100.
And it's just going to do its thing. So I'm going to unplug, and then I'm going to plug back in, and watch what happens, folks. Watch what happens. Look at that. Such an appreciated new change.
All right, so I just want to give you an example of what that actually sounds like. The camera is sitting about 2.5 feet away from the projector, so if you had it further, you wouldn't pick up as much fan noise. But if you are in a quiet, small room, this is definitely something you're going to pick up. And of course, the M7 does come with a remote, but it feels, like kind of the cheapest remote that they could find. It's very light, very plasticky, and all of the features on here aren't totally intuitive. And you can control, pretty much everything from here. But the one thing that I had kind of a hard time figuring out is how to actually, change the color mode when I was watching something through the HDMI input. So you have to push this icon that's in between the plus and minus, which adjusts the focus. And it kind of seems like all one button, but if you push right in the middle, that'll take you into the menu while you are still watching in the HDMI mode. But then you have to hit the back button to back out to the main menu, and then you can go down, and change all of your image controls in the settings. So it is totally functional, but yeah, just not very intuitive. Oh, and one other thing is that you have to use a remote from behind the projector. I couldn't get it to work from beside or in front. Pretty much you have to be in the back, and you have to have it pointing towards the projector to get it to work. So overall, wrapping up here, the AAXA M7 portable projector, is really powerful and really bright for the price. Now, you do miss some of those higher end features that you might get on a projector that's a little bit more expensive, but if, the two things you're worried about are price and brightness, then I really don't think you can go wrong with the M7. And for certain cases, this is going to be a great fit. One of the major things that AAXA markets to is, people who are setting up decorations outside, like for Halloween, and they want to project some images. This is a great option because you'd probably load your own media onto it anyways, so you don't need any smart TV functionality. You just want an affordable, bright projector, and that's exactly what this is. And another nice use case for this, might be RV camping or tent camping or van life. It's a very small, very portable projector that would be easy to mount somewhere, and then you can project it on a screen or take it outside at your campsite. And you probably won't have, smart TV functionalities. You're probably going to be playing from like a laptop or some other recorded media on here. So that's another great option, another great use case for this projector. All right, and that'll do it for our review of the AAXA M7 projector. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments below. And if you want to watch some other reviews, check out our review of the XJimmy Halo, which I put over here, and also check out the latest ultra short throw projector that we've reviewed recently. I've been really digging those lately. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9to5 Toys.